Alright guys, this is Dylan here. Welcome to my review of the Indyopen 2026 Old World event. First off, I just want to say I had an incredible time. Whether I was winning, losing, or getting my crap kicked in, I enjoyed every second of the weekend. It was a fantastic event. That said, this isn't just going to be me saying how great it was. I'm going to break down everything. Things I love, the things I think could be improved, what made this event stand out. So let's just jump into it. Let's start with the venue. This year's event was held at the Embassy Suites Event Center in Plainsfield, Indiana. Overall, I thought it was a great place to host an event like this. It was spacious, well air-conditioned, which was definitely appreciated on such a hot weekend, and it handled a large crowd pretty well. Now, I do have to say they really packed the place. They were fitting in as many tables and games as they possibly could, and while I can appreciate that because it lets more people attend, there were definitely times where it felt a little crowded. It wasn't just the old world either. There were games like Star Wars Legion and Middle-earth Strategy going on as well, as there was a lot happening under one roof. Honestly though, the crowd is kind of a double-edged sword. On one hand, yeah, it could feel a little cramped on times. On the other hand, seeing that many people enjoying tabletop games together is awesome. It's a good sign these communities are healthy and continuing to grow, and as far as the old world goes, the more people playing, the better. A growing player base means Games Workshop has more reason to keep supporting the game with new models, rules, and future content. That's something all of us can get behind. Now let's talk about the theme of the event. Friday was a Triumph and Treachery Day, but since I wasn't able to attend, I'm going to focus solely on Saturday and Sunday. The event was hosted by my friend Gary Luther. Gary has been putting on tournaments for years now, and I've been attending them for the last 2 or 3 years. They're always a great time, but honestly, I think he outdid himself with this one. This year's theme was the Princess Bride, and every one of the 5 rounds featured a custom scenario inspired by the adventures of the Man in Black. It wasn't just a tournament where you played the same mission over and over. Each game felt different and helped tell a story throughout the weekend. The scenarios were absolutely fantastic. I'll throw them up on the screen here if you guys want to pause and read through them, because they're generally some of the best narrative tournament scenarios I've played. I'd love to see more events do something similar in the future. As for my own performance, well, it was a bit of everything. I got tabled pretty hard in one game, managed to table an opponent myself, tied 2 games, and only narrowly lost my final round. Overall, I'm actually really happy with how I played. But more importantly, every single one of my opponents was fantastic. There wasn't a single bad game all weekend. Everyone was friendly, relaxed, and fun to play against. In fact, one of the players I tied ended up winning the entire event. So I walked away feeling pretty good about the result. Now let's talk about the awards, because they were just on theme as the rest of the event. The Best Painted award was a custom buttercup holding a paintbrush, which is really a creative touch. The overall event champion received an Indigo Montoya trophy mounted on a gold base, and I thought that was an awesome way to recognize the winner. The prizes themselves ranged from certificates and artwork all the way to a plastic fencing sword. It really felt like a lot of thought and effort went into making the awards fit the Princess Bride theme, and I loved every bit of it. On top of that, there was also a raffle benefiting charity. If you've ever been to one of Gary's events, you know that's something he consistently does. He always finds a way to give back, and I think that says a lot about the kind of person he is. He's not just putting on a great tournament, he's using it as an opportunity to help others, and I have a ton of respect for that. Plus, the guy looks like he can bench 400. So what's my overall takeaway from the Indyopen 2026? The venue itself was really nice. It was spacious, air-conditioned, which was a lifesaver in the summer heat, and they provided free water throughout the event. My only real criticism is that the water station was tucked away on one side of the room, so depending on where you were playing, you had to weave through a lot of people to get to it. Nothing major, just a minor inconvenience. I give the venue an 8.5 out of 10. The scenarios, easy 10 out of 10. Gary, don't change a thing. They were creative, thematic, and some of the most enjoyable tournaments missions I've played. As for the games themselves, I had an absolute blast. I played against people trying out new armies, opponents I faced before, completely new players, and even some competitors who honestly made me feel like I was sitting across from professionals. Every game taught me something. Every opponent made me experience enjoyable. For that, I'm going to give the games a 9 out of 10. That brings me to my overall score for the Indyopen 2026 to a 91% on my approval scale. Gary, you absolutely outdid yourself with this event. Thank you for all the work you put into organizing it, and thank you for letting me put together this review. To everyone I had the chance to play against, and everyone else who attended, it was great meeting you, and I hope we get to roll some dice again soon. Until next time, I've been Dylan. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.